Hey, and welcome to this quick tutorial where I'm going to talk about how to create Alexa skill and Google action from the Google Sheet, right? I have a spreadsheet here, and this spreadsheet is filled with some random relationship tips, right? And what I'm going to show you is how you can turn this spreadsheet into the API. And you do that by going to File, to Publish for Web, and then you go ahead and click Publish. Yes, we want to publish that, and that's it. You're done. You close this window. Then you go ahead in the address bar, you copy the ID of your spreadsheet right here. It's between the D/ and between the /edit. So all this you get a copy. You go ahead and paste it into another URL, which I'm gonna paste in the description of this video, and you hit enter. After you hit enter, you would probably see something like that if you don't have the JSON format installed. So my suggestion will be to go to the Chrome web store and install the JSON format, and then you will see it nicely displayed. So if you scroll down, you would see that under feed, under entry, there are a couple of entries, as many entries as we have rows here. And yeah, in each entry we have basically the kind of the content of this all. So if you go here and say, okay, I want the content of that, you would go ahead and say something like feed, then entry, then 0, and then GSX tips T, and this is the content. If you come from a storyline, you probably know how to get how to make this integration. So how to basically make an API call, and now I'm gonna show you how you do that in BotTalk. So create a new scenario from scratch. For example, relationship tips, and then I'm gonna choose English. Then I'm gonna hit enter. It's gonna be an empty skill, and finish creation and launch in my editor. Perfect. So we've done that, and what we want to do first in this initial step, we want to welcome our user and say welcome to the relationship tips tip of the day, or random tip, relationship tips. And then what you want to do is you want to use the get URL, and this is the action that will make an get request with the URL parameter that will be your Google spreadsheet API right here. This will automatically save everything that comes from Google in the variable, in the internal variable of BotTalk called URL response. So what you want to do is you want to set the contents of something that is coming into the from the API to some variable. For example, random fact variable will be set to URL response dot, then we've seen feed right here, it's going to be feed, then we go deeper, it's going to be entry, right, and dot entry, and then we want to do something random here, right? So we have several rows, and we want to kind of randomly select something. Because BotTalk supports TWIG templating language, we have all these cool functions and filters that come with TWIG, and one of those is called random. And what random does is it takes the random integer between 0 and the integer parameter that we're gonna paste in here. So if you go back to our table, you're gonna see that it has 10 tips. We don't count the header. So what you want to do is you're gonna say, okay, let it be random number from 0 to 10, and then inside of that, so it's gonna go in one of those items, for example second, we don't know, and then you're gonna go grab the GSX dollar tips with like that, and you want to go even deeper into the $t variable, and yeah, and so basically the random fact will be stored in this variable random fact, and you can read it to the user with send text. We'll put in something like that, send text, and you read these, or you kind of get the value from a variable with the double brackets right here. So the random fact will be here. So it will be read to the user, and what we want to do now is we want to say again send text, something like do you want another random fact, right? Or random relationship fact. And if the user says something like yes, then we gonna create another kind of block or step, random fact. And if the user is gonna say no, then we're gonna go and jump to the exit, right? And say bye-bye text. So what we want to create now are those yes and no intents. We go to intents section. For example, okay, great really looks like something that could be a yes intent. So we just put another variant like yes and yeah and stuff like that. And with a no, we're gonna put just no or nope as a variant of those. And don't forget to because we don't have okay great anymore, we just write yes here. Yeah, so basically if the user says yes, then a random fact could be read. So here we could go ahead and create another step called random fact, and this step will only do something like get URL, and essentially it's gonna do this, right? So if you jump right here, this is what it's going to do. A little bit of a duplication. The kind of nicer way to do that could be introducing some welcoming step, right? So we could, because we kind of duplicated, and it's not very good. So what we could do now is we're saying, okay, we gonna rename, we're gonna introduce the first like welcome step that is gonna do welcome step, right? And it's gonna have only one send text, and this send text will just welcome the user, right? And we'll just straight away from this block, from this step, we'll jump into the step that we will rename and call random fact. And in this random fact, we don't need the welcoming text anymore. All we need to do is we get URL, we set it to random fact variable, we read it, and then we ask a question: do you want another random relationship fact? And that's it. And if a user says yes, then we basically start the step all over again. And if a user says no, then we jump to the exit. Because we deleted initial step, we still have a reference in the help section, in the help step, to the initial step. So instead of that, we just want to introduce the random fact here as well. And in the help section, you could write something. You can hear the random facts in the skill. Do you want a random fact? Yeah, so, and if you're gonna save it, content is saved. What you can do is you can go to a test section and just run the random tester.
Open relationship tips.
Find a support team. Have a handful of great friends or family members you can call so your significant other doesn't have to hear every small grievance going on your life. Do you want another random relationship fact?
Amazon help intent.
You can hear the random facts in this skill. Do you want a random fact?
Okay.
Create a
As you can
checklist.
see,
Jot down
our
new
random
and
walker
fun
test
things.
will just try to walk through this and kind of do everything that we that is possible. Do every kind of variation, and it's a nice way to kind of test out if everything is working as planned. And then what you want to do, of course, is you want to hit the deploy button, and then it's going to connect to your Alexa, Amazon development console, and it's going to create all these interaction models and basically create all your logic. And while you're waiting, you could yeah, just relax and think about good things that BotTalk can do for you. Yeah, and it's just deploying and deploying and deploying. We're waiting. Yay! It's successfully deployed to Alexa, and we can just go ahead and straight away test it by saying, Alexa, open relationship tips.
Find 10 things you really love about them and tell them. Everyone needs a confidence booster now and again. Do you want another random relationship fact?
Stop.
Here is a bye-bye text.
I spotted a bug in my script, and the bug was that welcome step did not read, right? And the reason is that I missed one letter called actions. And yeah, and those are the things that you will have when you are creating something with this markup language. You're gonna have things like you misspelled something or things that you don't expect. Just be sure to kind of try to figure out why it doesn't work. And if you can't do that by yourself, just write us in the Facebook community. So let's rerun it again. As you can see, when you change something in the text, not in the intents or in the slots, in the scenario, for example, I could say hello and welcome, right? You only have to save it. You don't have to redeploy it every time. So we saved it, and then you can straight away try again. Alexa, open relationship tips.
Hello and welcome to the relationship tips. Talk to couples over 65 years old. Get relationship tips from them and see what you can take away to apply to your relationship. Do you want another random relationship fact?
Yes.
Find 10 things you really love about them and tell them. Everyone needs a confidence booster now and again. Do you want another random relationship fact?
Sure.
Put away your phones. One of the biggest relationship tips is to give your undivided attention when your partner is speaking. It's one of the most important things you can do. Do you want another random relationship fact?
No.
Here is a bye-bye text.
So as you can see, everything is working as expected. We've got our skill out of the Google spreadsheet, and every time we open it, or every time we say yes, we want another random fact, it's gonna take a random kind of thing out here. And I hope you liked it. I hope you're gonna build something amazing with it, and be sure to share it in the Facebook group for others to appreciate it. And I'll be putting the this script that I've written, the scenarios, the intents, and the slots in the GitHub repository, and all the links will be in the description of to this video. See you next time, and take care.